Together really quick. I should have set this up before I logged in. Hey Marcus. What up, bro? Hi. Hello everybody. Thanks for coming in on a different scope and inviting followers already. Thank you, Black Beauty. Thank you. Thanks, guys. From the earlier wake up to makeup. I wanted to do this scope today because I just got off the phone with my sister. Thank you. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys. I got off the phone with my sister and we were just talking about goals and struggles of reaching for your own dreams and your own aspirations and just the struggles and faith and all that. And a little background about my story, because you guys don't really get to know me. What happens is you guys see me on Wake Up to Makeup, but as I've been doing it for a while, I want you guys to get to know me a little bit more. But I also want to bring encouraging words to you guys and challenge you guys to do something that you want to do and reach for it. So if you don't know, I went to college. I went to a historical black college in Daytona Beach, Florida, and it's called Bethune-Cookman University now. And I finished all 4 years, majored in public relations and advertising, and I pledged. I'm a Delta Sigma Theta. Yes, I am. And I did all the college things, graduated, and for some reason I thought right after that I was going to have this major career and be good. And I did. I ended up working at an ad agency for 2 years, straight out of college, and I thought I was rich. I was living in Atlanta, Georgia, and making $40 a year straight out of college. So to me, I'm like, I'm balling, I'm doing all this stuff, everything's great. Then I got laid off of my job and had to start over and move back in with my mom. And that was tough because I felt like literally my mom left my room exactly how I left it in high school. So I'm over here living big, telling my mom I'm never gonna move back in her house. I'm doing my thing, and I'm back with my pom-poms from high school, no job. I have my son. I'm living with my mom. I can't contribute anything. I'm like a bum, right, in my mind. And I was super depressed. What ended up happening was I would wake up, take my son to school, and then be in my room, dark room all day, sleep all day. And that's just what it was. So my mom basically told me that the struggle was real. And my mom basically told me that I had 2 years to get my life together. Moving back home was tough, but I'm going to tell you why it was good for me. So, and why it could be good if you were ever in that situation. My mom told me I had 2 years to get my life together. She was only allowing me to be there for 2 years. And I had to get myself together or she was going to kick me out, basically. Hopefully she didn't. And I gave myself 2 years. So what I ended up doing is revamping my career. Instead of working for an ad agency and working in PR, what I decided to do was go into hair and makeup, which was something that I always loved to do. But the reason why I didn't do it is because everyone tells you in high school, you need to go to college, you need to do this. So instead of going to cosmetology school, I went to college. And I don't regret it. I regret the student loans, but I don't regret going to college because I learned a lot and it's made me a better person. But I went to cosmetology school for 13 months and started doing hair, building my clientele. Everything's going great. I'm getting on my feet. That's around the time I met Scotty. We were singing in a band together. And yeah, student loans are not of God. Wait, let's revisit that real quick. Let me tell you what they do to you. student loans are so bad because they don't even explain everything to you. You're over here excited that you're gonna go to college. You know you didn't save up for it. Well, my parents didn't save up for it. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'll take that loan now. How much is it? $30,000? That's cool. I'll pay it back after college. Oh yeah, that's no worries. But that percentage, that interest rate, like I had 0 credit. So my interest rate was ridiculous. No one even like broke that down for me. Yeah, no one teaches on student loans, and that's another thing. When I encounter kids that are transitioning from high school to college, I'm like, go to a junior college for your first year, get your prereqs out the way, and then go to the college you want to go to, or apply for those apply for those scholarships, because those scholarships will help you. There's so much money that goes without anyone getting it. I'm like, I didn't do none of that crap. And I had good grades in high school, all that. I just didn't apply myself for that. I just took the money out because that's the easy way. And now I pay I almost cussed. I pay a crap load of student loans monthly. But that's neither here nor there. So I'm off that. Right, exactly. Yeah, that was like, honestly, man, I don't even want to go back into that. But the only thing I regret is student loans, and I regret that I didn't take care of them how I should have. And now as an adult, I'm getting ready to be 31, but as an adult, it hinders me from doing certain things. It almost hindered me from getting my salon because my debt ratio was so high. I mean, it really, it affects, it even affects you getting married because you don't want to put that debt on your spouse. It just really changed your life. And if someone would have told me something, then I probably wouldn't have taken so much money out. But anyways, off that soapbox. So I went to a cosmetology school, started building my career, and then I moved to California 2 years after being home because I'm originally from Washington State, and I don't really like living there. I love my family, but I didn't really like living there like that. So I decided to move to California and rebuild the career. And now getting to goal setting. So when it came to goal setting, and I was here in California, and if you work in an industry where you have to build your clientele, so hair, makeup, photography, a musician, anything like that, you have to go out and get your clients or you don't get paid. Period. Like, that's just what it is. If you don't hustle, if you're not on it, you don't get paid, and there goes your money. So it was a real struggle because I moved to California with not a plan. I didn't save to move here. I had my apartment, but I didn't know how I was going to pay my rent. I had nothing planned out. I didn't even know where I was going to work. I moved out here with into my sister's apartment for a while, but that gets old, like she don't want me to be there the whole time. But I didn't really have a plan, so to speak. So when I got my own place, I really didn't have rent. I was just hustling, just getting jobs. I knew I didn't want to go back into the ad agency, the ad world. So I just hustled. So what I did is I wrote out a 1, 3, and 5 year plan. I did the Being Mary Jane thing and posted it on the wall, and every time I rolled out of bed, I saw my goals. I saw that, and some of my goals were, I wanted to make $5,000. I wanted to make $5,000 a month. I wanted to have balance for my family and for my son. I wanted to build a stronger relationship with God, and I wanted to continue learning in my craft and growing in my craft. And those 4 things were on Post-it notes, or actually they were on postcards on the wall. And I prayed over those things every morning, and asked God to direct me on what I needed to do that day. And the first thing I did is I got a job in Beverly Hills at this salon that I'm not going to name. and that's really prestigious. And I worked there for 6 months, got paid $10 an hour. No, I got paid $8 an hour, and was in traffic for hours upon hours, and had to pay $10 a day to park. And what ended up happening? Oh, and then I just had like no clients, really nothing happening. Then they gave me a raise and gave me $10 an hour, and I was miserable because now I have more responsibilities and I was a manager. So to make that short, I quit that, and then I got a job in Pasadena, and that was okay, but I wasn't getting any clients. So then I decided I wasn't going to be in hair, period. Like, I'm done with hair and makeup. I'm not doing it, and go back into my career, which was, public relations and advertising. And I couldn't get a job there either. I was either overqualified or underqualified. It was just like a never-ending story. So then I started praying to God to show me the way, and I didn't do anything as far as I wasn't applying for jobs anymore. So I'm in the hair store with Scotty's mom, and I'm getting ready to do her hair, and we're in this place, and it's a beauty supply, but they have a salon in the back that they were using for storage. And I went to the owner and I said, how do you guys have a stylist there? And they were like, no. I said, well, how much would it be? I'm a hairstylist. I would like to rent it from you guys, or what options or whatever. And they allowed me to be a commissioned stylist. Ooh, the salon phone is ringing. Hold on, you guys. Okay, so after that, I decided that I would work there and build my clientele, because, I would be where people needed their hair done. You go to the beauty supply, you get the hair, and then maybe you don't have someone to do it. So I built my clientele really fast there, and I started outgrowing where I was. And the next step for me was like, oh, I need some place where I can be. So then I started praying for a salon that was already fully furnished, because it's expensive to turn something into a salon. And so I started praying for a salon. Right, everything happens in God's perfect timing. I started praying for a salon that was fully furnished. All I had to do was lease it, and just that was pretty much it. Like, I was just praying for that. And I promise you guys, like 2 weeks, and I was praying that prayer every single day. 2 weeks later, I'm driving to my job, and I see a sign on this building that says, fully furnished salon for lease. And I'm like, what? I call Scotty. I'm like blowing him up. I call Scotty like, there's a fully furnished salon for lease. I want to call him. Can you come with me to meet this dude? I want to meet him. And I'm super excited. Back to my student loans. Super excited. The guy was like, yeah, if you're interested, yeah, cool. Can you guys afford the lease? Whatever, whatever. And I'm like, yes, I can. Okay, then student loans come into play, and he's looking at me like, yeah, so your debt ratio is really high. And then also going back to when I got laid off, I lost everything, and I didn't have any income coming in for a while. So it was like I had to play catch up with my student loans too. So all this is happening, and that happened, like 4 years prior. And even though I had started back on my student loans and doing my thing, it was now coming back and hindering me from a dream of owning my salon. And I was so just like defeated and upset, and like, okay, then F it, I'm just not gonna be able to do anything. And I'll just work at someone else's salon my entire life. And that's, if you guys know me personally, I need to be the boss where I'm at. And so, make a long story short, God made a way and He provided. But one thing I have to say is, the minute that I started like praying over my goals, and I was diligent in my tithes, and I was giving to other people. If I didn't have the money, then I was giving my time. I was just really focused on my relationship with God, and I watched the things that I put in my mind. I got rid of the type of music I was listening to. I got rid of, ties are important. They are. I got rid of the type of music I was listening to, the type of shows I was watching, all this stuff that was negative in my life. If my friends were negative, they went. I had a very, very good friend that we were through thick and thin together. But every time I talked to her, whenever I called her, she would be like, "Hey, B," right off the top. And before I'd be like, "What up?" And do it back to her. But then I was like, wait a minute. Why are we greeting each other like that, first of all? Second of all, what is that? Why am I even doing that? And then I told her, like, hey, I don't want you to call me that no more. I want us to, like, just, not do that. She had a problem with it. But she stopped. The next thing was, it was negative, like constant negativity in her life. And I would, give her positive solutions and things to do. And it was like she wanted to be a victim. And even though it hurt me so bad, I mean, we were through thick and thin. I mean, through college, like we weren't friends since middle school or anything, but through college, even though we were friends through college and, I was there for her when her mother died, I ended up I told her I couldn't be her friend anymore if she could not be positive. And she decided that she didn't want to be positive. I ixnayed her out of my life. And after that, I listened to Joyce Meyer every morning with her app. I started reading the Bible, listening to gospel music, listening to inspirational songs. And that changed the type of person I was. And I don't even know why I'm on here talking to you guys about it. It was worth it. It was definitely worth it because, negativity will bring your entire being down. It will crumble everything that you're building. So you yourself have to be a positive person, even in the midst of all the turmoil, because if you decide to let that consume you, that is all you are, and that's all you're going to do. You have to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you have to believe that God is going to bring you through that. Now, I was born and raised in the church. I've been in the church my whole life, but I was tired. You're right. You got to clean your house. I was tired of being at church all the time. To me, it was about, man, why am I at church Monday through Friday? Why I got to sing at this thing? Mom, why am I at Sunday school, church, second service, third service, all that? I'm not doing that. And so when I grew up, I was like, I'm not going to be that. I'm not going to be at church like that. So I strayed away. Then being with Scotty, and that's, he's the gospel musician, and that's just who he is. I started drawing, back into the whole church, like being involved in the church. And it's so funny because I tell my pastor this all the time, like, you wouldn't have got me at a second service. I mean, you still don't get me at Sunday school like Sunday school is super early at our church. I still don't go to that, but I'm still at a lot of the services. But the thing is, like, when things are surrounding you and when you have so much negativity in your life, you have to choose to be positive, and that's something that I still work on. I choose to be positive. I choose to not be angry. I don't allow people, and I'm gonna do a scope one of these days on anger, because that was a struggle for me. But I choose to not be angry. You have choices. And if you don't choose to be happy, if you don't choose to be positive, then it will consume you and you will be angry. But you know what? Slow to anger That's a tough one. I'm gonna tell you. I have some stories about people trying me even now. God puts me through tests all the time, and sometimes I pass, sometimes I gotta do it again. But the thing is, like, you're trying, you're moving forward. And so I guess what I just want you guys to get from this, to kind of know a little bit more about me beyond the hair and the makeup. Because I know that's really all I present with Wake Up to Makeup, but just so you guys know a little bit more about me, get some more depth into who Deandra Giselle is I try to be as positive as possible, and I try to be encouraging and help people, and it doesn't always happen, but you got to be okay. Speaking of makeup, I look a little different. I don't know why. So that's pretty much the gist of what I wanted to tell you guys. It's just when you are goal setting and when you're reaching for your goals, you want to be sure that, you know, that you write them out, one, that you put them someplace where you see them all the time, and that you pray over them all the time. Those are important. And the reason why you want to do that is because, one, nothing happens without God's hand in it. Two, you want to write them down because you want to remind yourself. If you don't, like, sometimes there's another thing I have an issue with. I create to-do lists or things to do. Oh, my makeup looks different from this morning. Oh, I don't know why. It might be the lighting, and I just have a matte red lip instead of a glitter lip, because that would have been hard to do all day at work. But it's the same makeup. It could be lighting because I have a lot of light on my on this side over there. Anyways, you want to write a list of things down, and you want to write down your goals and the steps that it takes to get there. And the reason being is because as you achieve them, you can go back and reflect on them. Because sometimes you're doing all this work and you're getting things done, but you don't feel like you're getting things done. You feel like you're still in a rut. You feel like nothing's happening, nothing's going on. Everything is the same. I'm still in the same spot. I live in the same place, or I'm still dealing with the same people. But then when you look at your checklist and you see all the things that you've done, you can check them off, and that gives you hope. Like, you know what? I may not be to the end of my goal, or I haven't reached my goal yet, but I'm like, I did this, I handled this. You know what? I did do that, and that makes you feel better. So make sure you write them down, and make sure that you post them where you can see them, so you can have a clear vision. Because if you don't have a clear vision of what you want to do, or even how to get there, you're gonna get lost. And I'm just at the peak. I posted something on my Facebook that says, everyone keeps saying they're so proud of me, but I feel like, when people say they're so proud of you and you feel like you're not doing enough, that's how I am all the time. And I think that challenges me to be better. So I challenge you guys to goal set and reach for your goals and reach for your dreams, and to not let, you know, I had a child. Thank you. I had a child at 20, you know. I had him super young. I was in college. I shouldn't have had him that young. You know, I wasn't married, you know. But I had him, and I refused, and I was all the way in Florida. I'm from Washington State, up there, and I'm going to college in Florida, and I'm pregnant. And I would not tell my parents until I had a plan. So, because I knew, one, my mom is not going for abortions, and two, my mom would have told me to come home. Like, you need to come home, and you need to start doing what you need to do for your child. But I refused. It's a very long distance. I refused. So I waited to tell my parents. One of my close friends, Tiffany, and my sorority sisters, you know, they helped me a lot. But I made a plan. And I told and the plan was how I can finish college on time without coming home. And I called my mom. I told her that I was pregnant, and her first words were, "I'm so disappointed in you," which sucks to hear that from your parents, but she hit me with the real. She kept it real, and I love her for that. And I told her my plan because she did. She was like, it's time to come home. And I was like, I'm not coming home. I'm going to graduate from this college and I'm going to have this baby and I'm going to be good. And with my sorority sisters, they helped me. I have friends that helped me. And I made it through and finished. I finished the summer that I was supposed to finish. And that was a hard thing to do. Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I did what I was supposed to do. I finished, I graduated, and I got a job. And so I say all that to say that no matter what the struggles are, they're not excuses. They're just obstacles, and you can definitely get through them and you can get around them. And it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how young you are. It just matters about what's in here and your belief and knowing that God's going to pull you through. So if you believe that you can do better, you'll do better. And then, of course, faith without works is dead. So you need to work. You have to work at it. And that's where goal setting comes into place and writing your list. I got my degree in, I have a bachelor's of arts, and I minored in and majored in public relations and advertising, and I minored in business. So yeah, and I worked in there. I worked in that industry for 2 years, and I was miserable while working. So that's pretty much it, guys. I wanted to just talk with you, chat with you, and show you guys something else besides the hair and the makeup and the occasional Scotty and I scope. I hope this helps somebody. I don't even know, why I even said all that. I'm glad. Thank you, Black Beauty, for tuning in and just tuning in all the time. I thank you for that. Thank you. I wanted to share with you guys, and I hope that you guys can take something from it and know that there is hope wherever you are at, and that you guys just keep pushing forward. Thank you. And that's another thing, is staying driven is one of the hardest things to do. So you have to find different things to keep you moving forward. So that's it, guys. I'll let you guys get back to your daily stuff, working and all that. I will be back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. for Wake Up to Makeup Pacific Standard Time. So you guys have a great day. Enjoy your day. Stay encouraged, believe in yourself, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, beauties and gents. Bye. Age does not matter. Look, I came back on the scope just to tell you, age does not matter. Let me tell you.